Nidhi, Tom Hitchcock here. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Start of the new year, and just me like you were my first meeting. So I'm really excited, and also to share my story. Definitely, I would love as many people to hear, and then also let me know comments, etc. Like what they feel.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. So you and I don't know each other, so this is another one of the episodes where I get to know you on the call, which is
Mhm.
nice. And it also proves its point. This isn't scripted at all. We could go anywhere.
Yeah, not at all. Not at
We're
all.
actually based, Nidhi.
Right now, I'm in Melbourne, in
Okay.
Australia. Yeah, I've come here a couple of years back, 3 years now. So, yeah, I was in India pretty much all my life. So this location was quite new. Now it's becoming more home. I would say this is more home than probably back there.
Okay. All right. So let's kick off straight into that then. Why Australia from India?
So one of the main reasons was personal. I got married. That was one, and then we had option between deciding that whether we both want to settle down in India or Australia. So at that point in time, I got a good opportunity here as well with Cargill. So I thought like it's better to just explore a new region, also settle down here. So that's how I landed up and been liking the role, the people. Also a lot of greenery and the nature bit over here so kind of made it home.
Yeah, good. Okay. So what was it just Australia which was the option?
Yeah, pretty much Australia or basically staying back where I was.
Okay, all right. And what twisted your arm was a job offer?
The job offer, as well as my husband already had a home here, so both of those things. So we were not starting from ground zero, but and he was here like for the last 7 years or so, so he knew like a couple of friends, etc. It was not like an alien
Not you.
stage from that perspective. And then also the job was quite good. Like it was I was doing pricing for Cargill in India, and then with the same company I got like project based and doing a lot of pricing, finance, as well as strategy for them in this role. So it was a good expansion, so to say. So really liked that piece. We don't often see when we move from one location to another. A couple of friends experiences told me that probably you have to start from scratch again, or not scratch but still like from an intermediary level. But this was a good opportunity, so yeah, I was really happy moving here.
So you had your hubby here for a few years beforehand, setting
Yeah.
everything up, getting the foundation, getting a circle of friends. And yeah, so you put him to work before you tied him down.
Yeah, he did. And I met those people as well, like his circle, when I was dating and then visiting him. Though COVID was a big challenge, like we were away for, full, I would say 1.5 years or so. Australia had this like biggest kind of restrictions. They were not even allowing people to exit, forget about entering. So I was not able to come. He was not able to go out, and that period was tricky. But apart from that, whenever I visited, I met his friends, his colleagues as well. So I knew like what this culture looks like.
I've got a good friend. He's an Anglo Indian. He's in
Mm.
Adelaide now, but was living in Sydney before, and he had to fly back for family reasons to India in the middle of COVID. And he made me laugh because he goes, so it's when the flights weren't happening, so he had to. It was obviously it's
Mhm.
bad news. So in on the aeroplane, he had the mask on and he had this mask as well. So he had everything, and that was from Australia to India. And everyone was spaced out as well, so he weren't sitting next to anyone. He had all this like dressed like riot police.
Wow.
But then when he was flying internally in India, there's no masks. We sat next to each other. It's like, well, that's pointless, isn't it? Remember that?
Yeah, no, definitely. And in tier one cities in India, it was still better. Like, and if you would ever like go to tier two or like mainstream India, it was even like people, some of the people were wearing masks, but others were like taking it lightly, I would say. But overall, I think India did a fascinating job in vaccinations. So I think, covering a billion plus population, and then most of it, them getting vaccinated. It was like pretty huge. Like we weren't expecting so soon, but that I would like really I found commendable. So
Yeah.
so I was at peace traveling there, like people were vaccinated, etc.
Very cool. And what is it you do here? What I think you said you're a pricer, is that right?
Pricing, strategy, and finance. So I've like shifted between these three roles pretty much. So started with finance, moved a bit into strategy with Goldman, and did M&A strategy work over there, and then moved on to Lilly, where it was more of a mix of finance and pricing. And then like at Cargill, I did a full-fledged pricing lead role. So I led like their pricing strategy for and set up the pricing, execution, governance, everything over there for 2.5 years. And then now, like my last role, which was with Cargill as well, was also a mix of all the projects, that project by project I was advising on different aspects related to strategy.
Okay. So it sounds like you're the boss.
Oh no, no, I was not. No, I was just a collaborator, I would say. So I was, just tying with different teams, and then doing advisory consulting piece of it. But the final calls were taken by the leadership team.
Yeah, cool. And would you say there's many differences to doing the role that you do here, um, than than Australia and India doing the same role but different locations? Are there many differences?
Yeah, in terms of just the products market as well, like people would approach things differently, as well as the India market is very tightly knit market, and a lot of more competition. I would say Australia is getting competitive, but it's still like predominantly, there are two or three major players in each industry, and we see a quite a bit of that consolidation over years still, like private equity is making its space, etc. But still in every industry you see there are two or three like players who dominate the scene, and then everybody else is like competing for a very small portion. In India probably it would be 50 people, 50 smaller firms competing for the same thing. So yeah, in that sense, yes, different.
That's interesting because I'm from the UK originally, and one of the things I noticed in industry is, and it's almost across, whether it's retail, whether it's the supermarkets, for example, or people tendering for business, so different sides of the fence. Is in UK, I found multiples, so there's a whole myriad of choice.
Mhm.
But in Australia, I called it a duopoly. So like, so you got, to go to supermarkets, you've got
Mhm.
Woolworths, Coles. Yes, there are some others, but the two dominate it.
Yeah.
You can go across that with almost everything really, and you're quite right. So it's 2 to 3
Mhm.
usual suspects turn up in each industry that
Yeah.
dominate it. But yeah, it's nowhere near as competitive.
Oh yeah, really, it is. And just on the construction side, I see like there are many players, but everything else in Australia is like pretty consolidated. Construction is something that is unique in that sense. This particular location and enjoys a lot in real estate investments, constructions, and even other kind of property related investments. So that's something unique about Australia as well, I think.
Okay, so with if we're looking at comparisons and what have you, and we've got the finance, the economics of things, what do you foresee the future of Australia for the next 2 or 3 years?
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't given it a thought about Australia as a whole, to be honest. But I feel, it's in a growing trajectory still, because there are like many small players who want to, come out and fight for that market share. Companies like big corporates are feeling that pressure, and also, the startup scene is just starting over here. So it's like, for example, in other locations, if I would compare it to a Bangalore, where there are quite many startups in each category, that culture has not reached stagnation or saturation in Australia. So I think there are opportunities for growth, definitely, and the economy is pretty open and welcoming to people from across all countries. So in that sense as well, right, there would be a mix, and culturally different people come here with their different skill sets. They might build something of value. So that piece is ever growing. Also, Australia is quite, I think, dependent, or resource rich, and that way is like draws a lot of its revenues from minerals and natural resources. So as and when those discoveries happen, like in mining, etc., it's always a good deal for Australia's future. And yeah, I would say it's in a still comfortable space, comfortable growth space, not quite stagnant. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. And what about the future for yourself? Do you think Australia's home for good now, or could you see yourself ticking off another country or continent?
Yeah, I think for now it's home, because we've quite we built that rapport over here with our network. Also, have a good circle of friends, and like distant family as well now over here. So it feels home that ways. And But you never know, well, like where opportunities take. Like I haven't thought about Australia at the time, when I moved from India. So it was a decision that was like weighed at that time. So if any good opportunity emerges in, for example, Europe, so to say, it's also a good location, and then I wouldn't mind considering the pros and cons. Not very fixated that ways.
There we are. Never say never.
Yeah, because when we say that, then it is bound to happen.
Yes, yeah, that's true. So you tend to manifest it. Okay, all right, and maybe to wrap this up, what would you say would be your advice to someone who's looking to move continents, and to make it as smooth a transition as possible?
I think that's a very good question, because like a lot of my friends, or not, very close friends also, like the colleagues who got to know that about the movement and this role, etc., and get very excited, and they want to know like the exact process of moving. But I would say there are, definitely the plus and the minus sides of the coin, and then one should make an fully aware decision. One is like if you are, for example, in India in a role that is in the top, say 5%, and you're doing quite well over there, and earning quite well, and also getting enough opportunities, then maybe you should move here only when you get like at least that much of a promising role, not start from scratch. Like there are people who are just keen on moving to a different location, and then they give up on all those, like that experience, and then they enter into something very different area which they do not enjoy working, etc. So don't do that. But I moved here because I got a even better role, like to move, and that was one of the main considerations. But don't like just location dictate your moves. And then in India we are used to a lot of help from family, from also hired help, etc. That's not going to be here. So you got to be independent, be take care of all of your things, whether it is house as well as you love huge gardens, but you'll have to do gardening. So you can't just hire a gardener for daily work. So know all those details. It just helps when you move continents, and not get disappointed that my life was more leisure based back there. So take a calculated call, I would say.
There we are. I hear the financial talk coming out there and your
Mhm.
strategy. It's all calculated, cool. But I do like that. I do like the fact of earning your stripes before you come, so that because it's always harder when it's not your own country. You've
Mhm.
got to work twice as hard as the locals to make each opportunity count. So if you've got if you're further up the ladder in the first place, then your chance of success is a lot higher. And also the perception of what you need to do here and how things
Mhm.
are. I think that was really good advice, actually.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and so tell me if someone's listening to this and what you're saying resonates with them, and they would like to ask you a couple of questions, maybe what would be
Mhm.
the best way for them to make contact with you?
What would they say that again? Contact me
What would
about?
be the best way for them to contact you if they had some questions off the back of
Oh,
listening?
sure. Yeah, they can contact me over LinkedIn. They can also, drop me an email. I could, drop my email address, and then we can share. Maybe we could connect on Teams or Meets, and also, then go from there.
That'd be a good idea. So maybe when this does get published, put your contact details at the bottom of it, and I'm sure you'll have plenty of people wanting to ask you questions, and you'll build your network further.
Oh yeah, sure. I would love to help. Definitely. And none of it is paid. So just a disclaimer, because there are many consultants out here, especially people have immigration related questions. People have like job consultancy related questions. So yeah, I would help wherever I can. And it's not like for fee. So I'll give my honest advice.
Yeah, perfect. Brilliant. Well, I appreciate that. Lots of good insights there. And I'd like to say thank you very much for your time, Nidhi.
Thank you, Tom, for making it. Yeah.
See ya. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope that you did enjoy it, had lots of takeaways from it. As before, please subscribe below so you can keep on top of any new releases we have. And also, if you would like to have your story told, just reach out with me and I'd love to give you that platform. My best email address is tom@purplepatchconsulting.com. Thank you.